right now.
New this noon, 2 people, including actor Alec Baldwin, now charged for the shooting death of a cinematographer on a movie set. Baldwin and a weapons specialist now being charged with involuntary manslaughter of Helena Hutchins on the set of the movie Rush.
She was shot during rehearsals at a ranch on the outskirts of Santa Fe, New Mexico back in October of 2021. Baldwin pointing a pistol at Hutchins when the gun went off, killing her and wounding the film's director. We'll have more on this story later on in the show.
Another fatal shooting, this one much more recent and nearby, now being investigated as a double murder. And sheriff's detectives say that there were no strangers involved in this one.
They believe the people who met up at an apartment complex overnight near Highway 90 and Highway 211 all knew each other. Katrina Weber tells us why that still doesn't ease the minds of others who live nearby.
Just outside the gates of the Villages of Briggs Ranch Apartments, 2 men died from gun violence that also sent fear throughout the complex. People who called Bexar County deputies to the 5500 block of Mansions Bluff reported hearing a loud argument, then gunshots around 1:30 this morning. They arrived and found one victim just outside a parked car, the other on a nearby walkway. Both were in their 40s or 50s. 2 other people who witnesses saw here, including the shooter, already were gone.
I can't even go home thinking if my wife and daughter are going to be all right.
The blocked-off murder scene kept Garrett Garcia and some of his neighbors from reaching their own front doors. He was headed home after an all-nighter on the job.
I can't even feel safe while I'm at work. While my daughter and wife are at home, there's no need for me to be here anymore.
While he is thinking of leaving, detectives stayed for hours searching for clues. Through their investigation, detectives say they've learned that this was no random location. They say at least one of the suspects lives here, and they believe that they all knew each other. Investigators later found that suspect, a woman in her 40s, at her apartment and arrested her. But they are still looking for the trigger man. They wouldn't say exactly what led to the violence. Katrina Weber, KSAT12 News.
A driver nowhere to be found after a crash. However, police did figure out that the car that was crashed was stolen. Now police want to ask the person some questions. It all started last month when a crash was reported near Vance Jackson and Northwest Loop 410. Officers tell us a driver involved walked to a nearby store, tried to use the phone. They ended up running away. When police arrived, they found a crashed vehicle, which they identified as stolen.
3 years later, and police are still trying to find the person who killed a man on the city's northeast side. This one happened on January 13th of 2020 on a street called Tranquil Dawn near Eisenhower Road. That's where this man, 48-year-old Jesus Solis, was found dead with a gunshot wound. Right now, officers believe someone killed Solis after robbing him. If you know anything about this crime that can help police, you're being asked to call Crime Stoppers. The number on your screen, 210-224. STOP.
Right now, police are searching for a suspect responsible for shooting 2 children overnight. It happened just before 3 o'clock this morning on the city's southwest side. The gunshot victims, 2 15-year-old boys, tell police. They were walking down Zarzamora near Walton Avenue when someone drove by and shot at them. One boy shot in the finger, the other was hit in the foot. The teens were treated for non-life-threatening injuries at Children's Hospital of San Antonio, and they are expected to be okay. But police say the investigation could take some time, given that the boys would not tell officers any further details, including a description of the suspect's vehicle or how many people were inside that vehicle. The Southside ISD School Board voted to keep 4 campuses open. This comes after it considered shutting them down. The superintendent recommended again closing the campuses due to a lack of enrollment and financial struggles. The schools in question were Athens Elementary, Kindred Elementary, Kazan Middle, and West Campus High School. Athens, Kindred, and West Campus were all previously closed but reopened in 2019. Many board members voted against closing the schools due to a lack of notice. They wanted more community discussion and input before making a decision. It is not clear if or when that would happen.
Construction now underway for a new innovation center at St. Mary's University. It's going to support advanced manufacturing, engineering, computing, plus it's going to house a new nursing program. Tiffany Huertas shows us how the new funding is going to help move forward the university's vision for the center and the impact it could have on all of us.
This is a dream come true. We've been talking about starting a nursing program
for 5 or 6 years, and we will have a great facility with great equipment.
The third floor of the Blank Shepherd Innovation Center at St. Mary's University will be the home to a Bachelor of Science in Nursing program.
In 2032, we will be short 50,000 nurses in the state of Texas. So St. Mary's will make an important contribution to addressing that desperate need.
The center broke ground in October of last year. University student Arlene Chides believes it's a great addition to the campus.
I know a lot of people that want to go into nursing with like a biology bachelor's, and this gives them the opportunity to go directly into nursing without having to waste so much time.
St. Mary's University President Tom Mengler says they will receive more than $5.5 million in federal funding.
We're estimating that the cost will be about $18.5 million.
The university has set up a live webcam focused on this construction site where you can keep up with this project.
The first 2 floors will have 7 laboratories and student gathering space.
Be focused almost entirely on promoting advanced manufacturing. So there'll be a laboratory on robotics, there'll be one on data science, there'll be a laboratory in entrepreneurship.
The building is expected to be complete by 2024. Tiffany Huertas, KSAT12 News.
It is like maxing out your credit card, reaching your credit limit, but it's more catastrophic. The United States has officially reached its debt ceiling. Congress has a borrowing limit of $31.4 trillion, but now it's headed over that amount. Treasury Department has to work to avoid defaulting and at the same time make sure the federal government has funding for several more months. Lawmakers have a few months to negotiate until the government actually defaults, something that has never happened. If that does happen, it could be catastrophic to the national economy. Hey, the Buffalo Bills' Damar Hamlin is feeling so good these days after that cardiac arrest that he is visiting the Bills' locker room on a daily basis. How great is that? Today, there are new developments in the investigation into that deadly shooting during filming of that movie Rust.
2 people now facing involuntary manslaughter charges, including actor Alec Baldwin. ABC's Tim Pulliman has more on what led prosecutors to today's announcement.
Santa Fe prosecutors announcing they will charge actor Alec Baldwin and crew member Hannah Gutierrez-Reed each with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter in that deadly 2021 shooting on the movie set of Rust. The film's assistant director, Dave Halls, took a plea deal admitting negligence. He will serve 6 months probation. Alec Baldwin's attorney releasing this statement, quote, "This decision distorts Helena Hutchins' tragic death and represents a terrible miscarriage of justice. Mr. Baldwin had no reason to believe there was a live bullet in the gun or anywhere on the movie set. He relied on the professionals with whom he worked, who assured him the gun did not have live rounds. We will fight these charges and we will win." The shooting, killing cinematographer Helena Hutchins, striking her in the chest and injuring director Joel Souza. In 2021, the Oscar nominee, in an exclusive interview with George Stephanopoulos, described the moment Hutchins was shot, saying he never pulled the trigger.
And I cocked the gun. I go, "Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that?" And she says, and then I let go of the hammer of the gun and the gun goes off. I let go of the hammer of the gun and the gun goes off.
It wasn't in the script for the trigger to be pulled.
Well, the trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger.
So you never pulled the trigger?
No.
But the FBI released a report last August concluding the gun used on set when fully cocked could not have fired without pulling the trigger, while the working internal components were intact and functional. The Santa Fe District Attorney speaking to CNN.
This was a really fast and loose set, and that nobody was doing their job. There were 3 people that if they had done their job that day, this tragedy wouldn't have happened.
Last November, Alec Baldwin filed a lawsuit against several crew members, including the film's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, for giving him the gun for failing to check the bullets or the gun carefully. Now, her attorney fired back, saying that Baldwin is the sole person responsible for this incident. He rejected training. He pointed the gun, pulled the trigger without the armorer being present. Tim Pulliam, ABC News, Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Taking a look outside with live cam. Pretty day out there, but boy, it was chilly this morning.
We did drop into the 40s briefly this morning, but now we've rebounded nicely back into the 60s. We'll see 70s later today. It's another great January day here across South Texas. The aquifer still dropping, down 0.7 of a foot to 635.6. Coming up, we're going to show you the drought monitor, which is bad, as you might imagine. There is a little bit of rain in the forecast coming up. Mountain cedar and molds are about where they were yesterday, 1,520 and 500 respectively. We'll talk about the weekend forecast. It does include a little bit of rain coming up.
It's almost rodeo season in San Antonio, and this year you can ride along with us in a carriage, in a parade, in the Western Heritage Parade.
However, the carriage only holds a few people, so only a few people are going to be able to ride with us. You can enter the sweepstakes for a chance to win. All you got to do is scan that QR code right there on your screen. It's free to enter and exclusively for members of KSAT Insider, which is free to join.
And you have until Wednesday, January 25th, to enter to get in the carriage with us. The winners are going to be randomly selected the next day. The Western Heritage Parade scheduled for Saturday, February 4th, and we have ordered temperatures in the 70s and sunshine.
So it's you, it's me,
and a bunch of insiders.
And you're not going to drive.
I'm not driving the carriage.
Drive the carriage. So it's probably.
And we did this once before, and it was so much fun. It was a blast.
You're not driving either, are you, David?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, there you go. Be good and safe. Sounds like a lot of fun. Make sure you sign up. It's good to see rodeo times coming back around. And hopefully we do dial up some good weather for the rodeo. That's the hope. It's been a good January. Hopefully that's the way it pans out in February as well. We know that what's behind us has not been all that great, and that is the drought. It's been so bad around here. This drought monitor remains unchanged from when we showed you it last week. It's just week after week. But, one thing I will point out here is that we've been under extreme or exceptional drought in this general area here since March of 2022. That is a long time to go without really any sort of significant rainfall, and the drought just continues to take hold. Now, one thing that is encouraging as we've been in a La Nina for an extended period of time now. Of course, that has to deals with the warmer waters, or the waters in the Pacific. Looks like we're switching to more of a neutral, and then eventually, hopefully, switching over to an El Nino in the coming years. So that would mean maybe a pattern shift, maybe some wet years ahead, we hope. We're talking long term here, but we do need some changes. And we always know around here that we can go in droughts and come out of those droughts pretty quickly if we get one big rainfall. We'll see how 2023 plays out. 6.1% full from Medina Lake. It's down 80 feet. That doesn't change much either, but there's not much water left to really go any lower there. Here's a look at the rainfall over the last 6 years if you're curious. 2017, we were a little below average. 2018 was a pretty good year. 2019 below average. 2020 below average. 2021, we did jump up a little bit above average. And of course, last year was really rough, 11.51 inches. So again, hopefully our fortunes start to turn around here in 2023. There's the scene outside. We've got some high clouds streaming through. 65, the current reading. Dew point is at 25. We've got a northeasterly wind at about 9. Temperatures at 60 in Fredericksburg, 67 Honda, 67 Pleasanton, 66 in Gonzales, and right around the mid-60s here in Bexar County, 67 for Rio Medina and 64 up in Bulverde. Our KSAT 12-hour forecast by 3 o'clock, 71, 72 the high temperature today, and we fall down into the mid-60s by the evening hours, and then eventually 50s. Clouds will start to increase tonight, and you'll really notice a lot of clouds tomorrow. It's going to be sort of a gray Friday. We've got those high clouds. We can see those very well on water vapor, and then a storm system that's starting to drop south. This is the one that will help to increase the low clouds tomorrow as well. The last storm system has moved away. It's out over the Great Lakes right now, producing some snow there, some rain across the northeast. Then as we look back to the west, this is the one new storm system taking shape that will bring us some small rain chances over the weekend. So here's how it looks in the futurecast here. We'll see clouds again increasing this evening and then really more so by tomorrow morning. This is 7 a.m. tomorrow. I think there could be a few breaks here and there tomorrow, but you're going to see more clouds and sun for sure. And then by Saturday morning, we're going to start to see a few sprinkly showers developing around the area. Right now, about a 20 to 30% chance, but anything we see is going to be really light. Area of low pressure develops along the coast, and that tends to take a lot of the rain with it as we get into midday. And then by the afternoon, possibility of a little bit of clearing before we clear out completely on Sunday. So the extended forecast looks like this. 58 tomorrow. Because of the cloud cover, we just don't warm up that much. 66 Saturday. Again, maybe a little clearing late in the day. Sunny on Sunday, 68. 69 Monday, and then we do get another chance for some showers and maybe a storm Monday into Tuesday.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
Over the years, there have been some epic battles between the Cowboys and the 49ers. Let's hope this is another one.
And let's hope that the Cowboys, at least for Cowboys' sakes, victorious, right? Because it's definitely not going to be an easy game because the San Francisco 49ers are a very good team. Coming up, Ron Curse for the Cowboys says they are craving a Super Bowl. And the Niners defense, they know that Dallas offense is more than just Dak Prescott. Coming up.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
After taking care of the Bucs in round one of the playoffs, 31-14, the Cowboys are now focused on the 49ers in the divisional round. Cowboys DB Ron Curse was one of the many boys' heroes during Monday Night Football, picking off Tom Brady in the end zone as the Bucs were looking to respond to the Cowboys scoring the first touchdown of the game. This week, it's all about Dallas beating San Francisco in part to get even for the Niners knocking the boys out of the playoffs in the first round last season. But Curse says it goes beyond that.
How I see it, we're motivated by ourselves. We want to win it all. The guys around here, we're craving a Super Bowl. So, they're in the way of that, and that's enough motivation for us. Just going out there to do the right things and come out with a W. We're just going to handle our business the way we got to handle it, same way we did last week.
Led by rookie quarterback Brock Purdy, the 49ers will look to dispose of the Cowboys in the postseason again. Purdy, a.k.a. Mr. Irrelevant, for being the last pick in the NFL draft, is playing some darn good football with 16 total touchdown passes and 4 picks in 10 games played this season, including a playoff game. On the flip side, Niners linebacker Fred Warner knows Dak is dangerous, but also says there's more to the boys' offense than number 4.
It all starts with Dak, leading the way, leading the charge. He had probably his best outing on this past Monday night. Played his best game, protecting the football, and obviously getting those explosive plays to his playmakers. They have great tight end Dalton Schultz. They got receivers. They got the running backs, great O-line. So to say that there's only one area that we have to stop, I think would probably be a false narrative. I think we honestly have to come out. We have to be on top of everything. We got to be able to stop the run. Obviously, that's what our goal is every week. But on top of that, we got to be sticky in the back end too to make sure that we give our rush a chance to get home.
The Niners will host the Cowboys Sunday at 5:30, and KSAT12 Sports will be there. As Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin continues his recovery, he's spending more and more time at the Bills facility, almost on a daily basis, as head coach Sean McDermott. Some 2.5 weeks ago, he suffered cardiac arrest, Damar did, on the field during Monday Night Football between the Bills and Bengals, the same team the Bills face in the playoffs this weekend.
A few hugs here and there. Everybody's chomping at the bit to talk to him, and don't want to overload him with too much right now, but it's been good to see him, a smile on his face, and guys love having him back in the building.
Going through what we went through a couple weeks back, I think the good thing that everybody feels good about is that D-Ham is back and he's in the building now. He's here today. It's just awesome to see him in great spirits back here, and it brings all of our spirits together. And brings all of our spirits up. So, I don't think it should be any different than any other game that we've been a part of. Obviously, like I said, two really good teams that want to win. It's playoffs, and so we're expecting a really great atmosphere, and we're excited for the opportunity.
Buffalo will host Cincy Sunday at 2 p.m., and the Bills are favored by 5.5 points.
What a great inspiration for them, though, huh?
Indeed, yeah.
All right, Larry, thanks.
At-home internet access. It's almost a necessity these days, but how much are you paying for it? And when was the last time you even checked? Coming up today at 5:12, your size, Marilyn Moritz is going to share some tips on how to save money on your internet bill.
A key government inflation measure pointed to lower food prices last month. And as Karen Kafa reports, it also another sign the Federal Reserve steps to curb inflation may finally be bringing prices under control.
A better than expected reading of a key government index may be another indicator inflation relief is on the way. The U.S. Producer Price Index, or PPI, declined 0.5% last month compared to November, more than economists expected. And PPI, which measures the prices that sellers pay for goods and services before they reach consumers, is often seen as a solid predictor of where inflation is headed. Food prices declined 1.2%, the biggest monthly dip in 2 years. It's not enough to put a major dent in grocery bills just yet, but perhaps a sign inflation is turning a corner. And although prices for items like fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, grains, and cooking oils have soared in the last 12 months, those increases dialed back between November and December. Of course, other variables can impact food production, like the U.S. avian flu outbreak that has kept egg prices climbing, and recent storms in California that could wreak havoc with U.S. produce supply.
Destruction of crops is going to act as a supply side shock. So that means that we're going to have a harder time sourcing these fruits and vegetables domestically.
But recent reports show overall price inflation moving in the right direction. Down. The December Consumer Price Index, CPI, pointed to an overall drop month to month for the prices paid by consumers for the first time in nearly 3 years. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
First-time jobless claims surprising the experts this month. There were 190,000 claims, and that's a drop of 15,000. The data company that provides the Labor Department numbers said that economists had actually expected the numbers to rise, not lower. The decrease in the first-time unemployment insurance claims indicates that the labor market is still pretty tight, but continuing claims have been on the rise.
A new study raises the question whether some people can wait longer than the recommended 10 years to repeat a colonoscopy after a negative initial screening. In 2021, the recommended age to have your first colonoscopy was lowered to 45. Generally, as long as that initial colon screening is negative, patients can wait 10 years before getting another colonoscopy. But now, a new study questions whether that interval could be prolonged. Researchers followed 120,000 people ages 64 and older in Germany from 2013 to 2019. They found that the current 10-year screening intervals for colonoscopies are safe and that extending intervals between screenings may be acceptable, especially for women and younger people without gastrointestinal symptoms.
Intermittent fasting may not be as effective for weight loss as once thought. That's according to a new study. Intermittent fasting involves eating all of your meals over the course of just a few hours and then fasting for the rest of the day. This latest study shows no association between restricting eating times and weight loss. That included how long people waited to eat after waking up, or how long their window of eating was throughout the day, or even how close to bedtime they ate. However, experts say the study should be taken with a grain of salt. There were few, meaning not many, racial and ethnic minorities in the participants of this study, and the researchers did not take into account factors like stress and people's environments.
So they tell you to take it with a grain of salt, but then they say don't have much salt.
Definitely don't have much salt.
I'm thoroughly confused.
All I know is it's a great day to take that salad out on the patio.
Yeah, there you go. Eat healthy outside.
It's all that food sounds good. It is a beautiful day for that, guys. You're right. Blue skies yet again. We've had just a beautiful stretch of weather here, and today is no exception. I want to show you a picture of the sunrise this morning. It was gorgeous too. We've got some of those thin cirrus clouds coming through. They always make for great sunrises and great sunsets. So have your camera out tonight. We should get another good sunset with some nice colors around the area. Temperatures in Texas, it's 45 in Amarillo. That's one of the cool spots, 44 Lubbock. It ranges all the way down into the, or I should say up to the low 70s there in South Texas, 72 right now in Brownsville. And there is quite a bit of cold air across the middle part of the country. And as you go west, 32 Boise, Salt Lake City, some cooler air being pulled down from Canada. The warm spot yet again is Miami, 81. It's been the warm spot basically every day, it feels like, this winter. And they're cooking there again today with highs in the 80s expected. A little closer look at what we got going on here. It's generally pretty clear. We've got, again, maybe a few thin high clouds that'll come through a little bit later this afternoon. But I am watching some of these clouds down here in parts of Mexico. This is the cloud cover that will gather tonight and start to pull into the area tomorrow, and we'll see more clouds certainly on your Friday. It clouds up quite a bit, in fact. 70 by 2 o'clock today, 71 by 3 o'clock, 72 the high temperature with mostly sunny skies, no rain chances, and we'll see those light winds continuing throughout the rest of today. We do have some changes on the way by the weekend. More on that forecast coming up in just a bit, guys.
All right, Justin, thank you. New York Congressman George Santos is now facing, if you can believe it, even more scrutiny. Now a homeless veteran is accusing him of scamming him out of thousands of dollars. The veteran saying the charity funds were raised to help his dying dog.
ABC's M. Nguyen tells us that news comes as new documents surface showing his mother was not at the Twin Towers in New York on 9/11, as he has previously claimed. In fact, she wasn't even in the United States.
Embattled New York Congressman George Santos, already under fire for apparently making up the entire biography he used to persuade voters, now accused of pocketing $3,000 he raised on GoFundMe that was intended for a homeless veteran's dying dog.
I had developed pretty bad PTSD. She definitely was the reason that I'm still here.
Navy veteran Richard Osthoff says he was living on the streets in New Jersey when his service dog Sapphire developed a tumor. Another veteran referred him to a pet charity, he says, to help raise money for his dog to have surgery. That organization run by Santos using the fictitious name Anthony DeVolder.
I needed it. I needed that dog to survive.
But as ABC previously reported, that charity never existed. Osthoff alleging Santos never turned over the funds. His dog passed away a year later.
That's like stealing my medication and stealing my best friend at the same time.
Santos denying the allegations, describing them as shocking and insane, adding he has no clue who Osthoff is. A source close to the GoFundMe situation confirming to ABC Santos ran that account. In a statement, GoFundMe saying they sought proof of the delivery of funds from the organizer. The organizer failed to respond, which led to the fundraiser being removed and the email associated with that account prohibited from further use. The Republican congressman also accused of another outrageous lie, previously claiming his mother was a 9/11 survivor.
She was in the South Tower, and she made it out. She got caught up in the ash cloud. My mom fought cancer till her death.
But immigration documents obtained by a genealogist through a Freedom of Information Act request and provided to ABC News suggests that's not true, indicating Santos's mother wasn't even in the U.S. that day. Despite growing calls from Democrats, some Republicans, and his constituents to resign, Santos has now been placed on 2 congressional committees. Speaker Kevin McCarthy signaling any discipline of Santos will be handled internally. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Still coming up, the Clippers getting in a game before they come to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. Larry Ramirez will let you know if they are in a good mood or a bad mood.
Now, a happy puppy story, a place to call his own. How a dog was able to find its forever home after several failed adoption attempts.